Hello and welcome to Camp Kaiju Monster Movie Podcast. My name is Vincent Hannum here, and me and my co-host Matt Levine, who is not here chasing a PhD program. No, we wish him all the best. I'm down here in my basement fighting a cold, so my voice might sound a little deeper. I'm trying to just run with it, just to go with it. But if you're listening to Camp Kaiju for the first time, welcome. We are here to talk about traditional kaiju, creature features, space invaders, the supernatural, and everything in between. All strange beasts are welcome here. We're talking about our favorite movies, the good, the bad, and the downright campy, and asking if they stand the test of time. So if you're joining us for the first time here on Camp Kaiju, what an episode. This is the Poverty Row Picture Show. This is part 3 of my semi-annual sort of compilation of the previous half season's worth of segments. So if you've been listening to each episode, you know that Peter Lorre has been on a journey. He started the year 2026 living easy. He was in Borneo, kicking back on the beach. He was recording his segments. He was working remote with his wife, Lenore, who had recently been a raven and now was a regular human being. Well, through some nefarious voodoo witchycraft type of stuff, it turns out Lenore was reverting back to her bird-like state. And Peter Lorre, bless the man, he has his priorities, and I don't blame him. The love of his life is where he should be putting his energies. So at the end of the season, just a couple weeks ago, I went into the recording booth. I said, knock, knock, Peter, I've got your Ovaltine and some fish heads. And he wasn't there, listeners. But what was there on the keyboard was a letter, a farewell letter. But a little bit more love for Peter Lorre, and I want to let you know that he will return. And in fact, he did mention in a staff meeting recently that he would like to explore a different series from the golden age of Hollywood, the Flash Gordon serials from Universal Studios in the 1930s. Now, Flash Gordon has gone through many iterations and adaptations of this space adventure with aliens and evil warlocks, and this series is just like classic science fiction and thrills and adventures. So I said, Peter, you've never steered us wrong before. Go for it, my man. And so while he is exploring the cosmos, looking for a cure for Lenore, battling space rats, he will carve out time to review the Flash Gordon series. So can't wait for that. And before we get into anything more, thank you all for hanging out. Please rate and review this show wherever you podcast. Follow us on patreon.com/Camp Kaiju for additional videos, reviews, merchandise, and more. Other ways you can get in touch with us, please do so at campkaiju@gmail.com, campkaijupodcast.com, our Instagram, or even leave a voicemail in the answering machine zone at 612-470-2612. Special thank you to all of our patrons, with a special thank you to our paying supporters over on Patreon: Jason, Charlie, Chris, Sean, Peggy, our anonymous patron, Dawn, Steffi, Jim, and Ben. Thank you so much. We are also shouting out Eric Noble and his noble adventure getting the Video Store Minneapolis up and running. This is a volunteer-run nonprofit with a mission to preserve physical copies of every movie and television series they can find. If that's not ambitious enough, they want to create a library of those titles. Even more ambitious, they want to make that library available to everybody in the community in a video store, a brick and mortar physical location. And the Video Store Minneapolis' 30-day online Kickstarter is up and running, and they are halfway to their goal, people. So check them out. Link in the show notes. Give if you can. Support the dream, the rebirth, the renaissance of physical media, whatever you call it. But at least visit the website and see what it's all about. You know, Peter Lorre would, and he is a fan of revisiting some of the classics that might not be streaming. His 1940s film called The Verdict with Sidney Greenstreet is one such picture. I just Googled it today. It's not streaming. Of course, you can find things anywhere on the internet. You all out there are savvy enough to know that. But, check things out from video stores, from your library, which is number one, the biggest, best video store out there. And see if you can track down some of these Peter Lorre films. He'll thank you for it. I'll thank you for it. And I'm not saying eat some fish heads while you watch these movies, but, nobody's going to be mad if you ate a fish head. In fact, I might be a little impressed. So, before I start playing the hits, what are my favorite Peter Lorre movies? You ask me, Vincent, what Peter Lorre movies should I check out? I'm new to the legend. I absolutely hear you. He is in dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of movies. Not all horror movies, not all monster movies. A lot of noirs, a lot of crime movies. And these are excellent films that you have heard of. You've heard of The Maltese Falcon. You've heard of Casablanca, Arsenic and Old Lace, M from 1931, directed by Fritz Lang. You got to watch. Those are essential Peter Lorre movies. He's not always the lead role in those. Now, what are some leading Peter Lorre films? I would recommend The Man Who Knew Too Much, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. I would recommend Mad Love, a great body horror science fiction film from 1935. A really great underrated film is called The Beast with Five Fingers from 1946. Peter Lorre plays a man who loses his hand, the beast with five fingers, and over the course of the film is driven to insanity because he believes, maybe not unwrongly, that his hand is haunting him. So definitely check out The Beast with Five Fingers. And then actually Peter Lorre's only foray into Universal horror is an entry in the Invisible Man series. This is called Invisible Agent from 1942. He plays the Nazi antagonist. Other films in the horror monster movie genre, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Okay, that's maybe more science fiction, but we've talked about it on this podcast before. And then, of course, the Roger Corman films from the 60s, The Raven, Tales of Terror, and The Comedy of Terrors. Peter Lorre is hilarious. These are some late films from him, but he stars alongside the likes of Vincent Price, Boris Karloff. Definitely check out that trilogy there. So there you go, folks. Those are some great Peter Lorre films here on the Poverty Row Picture Show. If you are interested in some of these movies, I do want to point you in the direction of the book that inspired this series of segments called Poverty Row Horrors, a wonderful compendium by Tom Weaver, the monster movie film historian and writer. So I just basically went through the list as presented by Tom Weaver in his book. All those links and resources in the show notes. Check out Poverty Rows 1 and 2 back in the catalog. That way you don't have to listen to hours and hours and hours worth of normal episodes, although I'd love you to. That's why I do this. I think it's fun. Just so if you do miss an episode here or there throughout the year, throughout the season, you've got kind of the compilation album coming out at some point. So I appreciate the work. I appreciate all of you. Next time on Camp Kaiju, we will be talking about the Lost World Jurassic Park. And I'll have some good comments to read from you all with that episode. So stay tuned. Don, Jim, folks on Instagram, I've seen your comments. It's going to be a good episode there. So stay tuned. And without further ado, Mr. Lorre, the mic is yours.
Yeah. Yeah, this is Peter Lorre speaking.
I couldn't resist the temptation to call you. I just read of your new picture that you're to make.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Thanks for your interest.
Oh, I thought you were magnificent in M. And just the other night I saw your new picture, The Man Who Knew Too Much. What character are you going to play in?
Oh, it's the most unusual story. You know, it's a great love drama. I am to be a half-mad scientist. I, a poor peasant, have conquered science. Why can't I conquer love? He shall be shut up when it's I who am mad. But nobody knows that. Yes, each man kills the thing he loves.
Piano, long silent, mysteriously plays again. Its weird and ominous chords filling a bedeviled house with stark terror. A concerto of death, macabre music of a dead man, played by a hand that returned from the grave to wreak vengeance on his betrayers, marking each for murder as it strikes with inhuman power. A horrifying monster that takes its evil commands from beyond, that cannot return to the tomb till it completes its mission of destruction.
Hillary, listen, listen. Can you hear it? The piano. It's the hand playing. It's the hand. You were right all the time. It was Ingram's hand that committed murder.
I found fingerprints of identical pattern in the library, in the hall. Even on the window pane in your room, Signorina.
You mean the same hand?
I heard what they said in the garden. I couldn't help but hear.
It's a lie. You're lying.
I'm not a liar. But you are a coward. You don't want to hear the truth.
Let's get away from here, Bruce. We're not under arrest. What can they do if we just disappear?
Enemy spy at large, an invisible man.
It's amazing. Oh, you will be of great help to us.
Who is this terrifying Phantom Commando? What is his amazing mission? See The Invisible Agent, suggested by H.G. Wells' Invisible Man, starring Ilona Massey and John Hall, with Peter Lorre, Sir Cedric Hardwicke, J. Edward Bromberg, Albert Basserman, in the most amazing story of our times.
Steady now. Don't let him get away.
Gesundheit. Who is there?
How did you know I was going to England?
I didn't, but...
So the trap was all set, eh?
Oh, Frank, how can you talk like that?
Oh, what's this? It's full of hooks. Oh, they're tearing into me.
We did have some questions about Peter Lorre. Is he coming back? Where is he? His honeymoon? Well, let me tell you, he's coming back. He came back last week. He dropped by my place, picked up his things. He's out the door, Matt.
Oh, man.
He's moving in with Lenore, who was a raven, who transformed into a beautiful woman, I'm told. And they went off. They got married. Don't know if, what's next for those two lovebirds, but Peter and Lenore are living on their own now.
Good for them. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Still honeymooning. Maybe they're traveling the world.
But I told him he can work remote. So yes, he could be anywhere in the world.
Wow.
He's a free man.
Yeah. His next recording could be from, who knows where? The jungles of Borneo. Let's go with that.
He's going to be reviewing that Shemp Howard picture called Crazy Nights from 1944 about 3 cracked-brained clowns trapped in a haunted house with runaway gorillas, ghosts, and more.
Wow. 3 goofballs run up against ghosts and a giant gorilla in a haunted house is the official synopsis here. I love that. Goofballs.
Yeah, not stooges. There's just one stooge, 2 goofballs.
Man, I can't wait to hear Peter talk about that. It sounds amazing.
Same. Live from the jungles of Borneo.
Yeah. Man, I don't know where that came from.
I'm going to use that now.
I would be honored if you do.
Welcome to the Poverty Row Studios on the other side of Hollywood. Oh, here the stars were dimmer and the red carpets dripped with blood. Together you and me, yes, we will watch the best of the worst. Movies known for their limited budgets, outlandish concepts, and questionable performances. But with enough haunted houses, zombies, ape men, and devil bats to keep you up at night. This is the Poverty Row Picture Show, and I dare you to sleep through these nightmares. Live from the jungles of Borneo, it is I, your host, Peter Lorre. I present to you a little 1944 picture that is so memorable, it even has 2 names. Ghost Crazy, or as we will call it tonight, Crazy Nights. Either way, you would have to be as crazy as I to watch and review these haunted houses. This haunted house movie that has more booze than the booing crowd in Young Frankenstein. Yes, you remember the picture well. Either way, forgive the forced pun. I'm working remotely here in my tropical mountain cottage, and the bats are flying by here in the twilight. Oh, yes, I am quite enjoying the afterlife these days, taking it a little easier, watching my movies, Poverty Row movies, eating my fish heads. Oh, yes, I did it all at my leisure. And Lenore, she's up to something in the background. She kind of does her own thing these days, but that's all right with me. We have a healthy balance. Anyways, Crazy Nights is a 63-minute monogram film that will challenge your funny bones in all the wrong ways. Shemp Howard leads this film as a circus performer whose act was to imitate a gorilla for unwitting customers. His partners in the ring include Billy Gilbert and Maxie Rosenblum. The 3 complete a trio of unholy slapstick that reeks as a Three Stooges knockoff, despite, of course, Shemp's status as a stooge himself. Now, Billy Gilbert is interesting. He was well known for his long career as a Hollywood funny man, and while he comes off in this picture as an unfunny Lou Costello, you could see that maybe there was something there, and this maybe just wasn't a vehicle for him. Yes, well, you've seen it all before, folks. Crazy Nights is an episode of Scooby-Doo with mistaken identities, jilted lovers, and a pesky poltergeist that turns out to be the disgruntled handyman. Spoilers if you care about that kind of thing. So now what does this picture have going for it? Well, perhaps the junior high antics may be stupid enough at times to elicit a chuckle here or there. The last 10 minutes, for instance, is a revolving door farce involving Shemp in his gorilla costume and a genuine gorilla, which of course is played by ape actor Art Miles. But overall, skip this one, folks. It is a comedy with gags deader than old Peter Lorre himself. But next week, have I got the treat for you. A 1945 little picture called Fog Island, yes, with venerable horror stars Lionel Atwill and George Zuko. Yes, let us relish in the thick mist of the Poverty Row. Hello, Kaiju Campers. Just wanted to give you a little postscript. I would be amiss not to mention the passing of Bob Burns, who passed away on December 12th, 2025. Bob Burns was a noted, legendary archivist, collector, monster movie enthusiast. He was an actor in his time, a producer, a director. He made connections with Hollywood celebrities, with regular old monster kids like you and me. He made the festival rounds. He provided scores of audio commentaries. If you have any classic monster movies on DVD, go check them out. You might have a Bob Burns commentary on there. When you have a moment, just look up Bob Burns and keep him in mind. All right. Until then, you stay campy, and Mr. Burns, you rip in peace. And then the Batra concludes with, also just saw The Man Who Knew Too Much with Mr. Lorre. Really liked him. He was a very good, cunning villain. So, thank you, the Batra. I'll pass that message along to Mr. Lorre. And welcomed thoughts on Space Amoeba 2 from 1970.
I love that comment, and I love Space Amoeba. That's a really fun movie. I have more of a love-hate relationship with Peter Lorre, as you know, Vincent. It's a rocky relationship.
Oh, I'm not even going to go there, man. He's in Borneo. He's doing his thing. Working remote.
Working remote? Okay.
We're all over the globe. Steffi's in Greece. Peter's in Southeast Asia. You'll be in Canada soon.
Truly cosmopolitan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Peter in Southeast Asia, is there anything in Poverty Row Picture Show this week?
Yes, Peter Lorre will be talking about a 1945 B-movie horror film called Fog Island, starring George Zuko and also Lionel Atwill, very well-beloved actors of horror films from the 30s and 40s. So I have yet to see this movie, but I am looking forward to catching it.
Awesome. Can't wait to hear what Peter has to say about it. I hope he's doing okay.
Welcome to the Poverty Row Studios on the other side of Hollywood. Yes, where the stars were dimmer and the red carpet's dripped with blood. Together, you and I will watch the best of the worst. Movies known for their limited budgets, outlandish concepts, and questionable performances, but with enough haunted houses, zombies, ape men, and devil bats to keep you up at night. This is the Poverty Row Picture Show, and I dare you to sleep through these nightmares. I am your host, Peter Lorre. You may know me from such razzle-dazzle pictures as Casablanca, the Maltese Falcon, and the Muscle Beach Party, which is where I am headed after regaling you with my review of 1945's Fog Island. Yes, the film was produced by PRC, and it tells the mad, murderous tale of a recently released convict who was framed for the murder of his wife. Now he invites his double-crossing associates over to his Foggy Island home for a night of, well, murder. And unlike many Poverty Row pictures of late, the film actually stars, well, some stars. Behold, Lionel Atwill and George Zuko. Now, Atwill, for his part, had long been a mainstay of the Hollywood horror elite. He had appeared in several classics up until this point, such as Mystery of the Wax Museum, Dr. X, and as the wooden arm police inspector in Universal's Son of Frankenstein. Yes, that's right. The very inspector parodied by Mel Brooks in Young Frankenstein. Can you tell this might be a favorite film of mine? Anyways, by 1945, Atwell, alas, his star had long waned following scandal and the waning popularity of fright films. Nevertheless, he is a welcomed illumination in the murky fog of this island. Now joining him in this misty mansion of death is George Zuko. Listeners, I have mentioned this man many a time on the Poverty Row Picture Show, but I have not given him his just desserts. Along with a multitude of B-movie horrors, Zuko's best-known credits are in the Universal Mommy pictures of the 1940s. Then, in about minute 8 of Fog Island, yes, he actually picks his nose. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is the mark of a true screen presence. Directing these monkeys at this circus is the journeyman director Terry O'Morse. Yes, perhaps that name rings the dinosaur dinner bell because it was Morse who directed the Americanization of Gojira. His film, of course, is known as Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and it was released in 1956, a smash of titanic proportions. Now, say what you will about the slicing and dicing of Ishiro Honda's 54 classic, but the Hollywood version propelled the famous kaiju into American pop culture. So, Mr. Terry O'Morse, we salute you. Now, Fog Island is no Godzilla. It is slowly paced, and it creaks with melodramatic intrigue. However, there is a climactic mass drowning in a basement torture chamber that would make the Phantom of the Opera proud. Ha! Ha 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 ha! Now, on that note, yes, I do have a Muscle Beach party to get to with Lenore. Listeners, we'll catch you next time for, hey, what a quinky-dink, The Phantom Speaks. Oh, yes, Lenore, how do you like this little one piece of mine that I am wearing? Oh, yes, well, I like the stripes and the little stars that you embroidered on the... All right, Peter Lorre, he's somewhere in space and time. He's going to talk about Poverty Row picture called The Phantom Speaks from 1945. According to our Letterboxd synopsis, it reads, the spirit of an executed murderer enters the body of a physician and forces him to do its bidding, namely murder. Sounds great.
Great title. The Phantom Speaks. I love it.
Yes.
You know, if anything, these movies always have great titles, great synopses, but you know.
Is Peter enjoying himself overseas?
Oh yeah, he's got a tan for the first time. Yeah.
Hard to imagine.
Pasty Peter. What?
Hard to imagine.
Right? Yeah. He's like wearing one of those old-timey one-piece bathing suits on the beach.
Oh no.
Drinking pina coladas. Roasted like a lobster.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm glad he's finally getting a rest. He deserved it. I think he needed it, in fact.
Most definitely. Welcome to Poverty Row Studios on the other side of Hollywood, where the stars were dimmer and the red carpets dripped with blood. Together we will watch the best of the worst, movies known for their limited budgets, outlandish concepts, and questionable performances, but with enough haunted houses, zombies, ape men, and devil bats to keep you up at night. This is the Poverty Row Picture Show, and I dare you to sleep through these nightmares. I am your host, Peter Lorre. You may know me from Hitchcock's The Man Who Knew Too Much. No, not the Jimmy Stewart one. No, thank you very much. I was in the first, 1934. And yes, thank you for watching this film, The Batra. I always love hearing how much people loved my movies. So eat your heart out, Jimmy. This one holds a special place in my rotted heart. It was the first English language flick I made. My God, good grief. Well, in this bathing suit, you wouldn't know it. Anyways, while yes, ironically, I was never in the trenches of Poverty Row myself, it sure feels like it reviewing these bad boys. This week's picture is a Republic film called The Phantom Speaks. It is about a convicted murderer who is executed for his crimes, but not before a psychic scientist visits him and tells him that life beyond the grave is possible. You just need the willpower to bring your consciousness back. And indeed, this murderer's will to enact vengeance on his double-crossers provides enough juju to bring him back. Ha! Ha! Don't I know the feeling? Well, anyways, the madman proceeds to possess the body of the hapless scientist and compels him to murder those dirty double-crossers. Oh yes, listeners, terror ensues, and it's up to a wisecracking journalist to solve the mystery of how a dead man can commit such crimes. The Phantom Speaks was released in 1945 to mixed reviews. Critics praised the performances, called out the derivative story. Yes, as interesting as this blend of crime and the supernatural is, it was a common theme back in the day. In fact, Phantom Speaks seems to go beyond merely innocent riffing and appears to totally rip off the Universal picture Black Friday, in which Boris Karloff plays the murderous spirit and bumps Bela Lugosi off along the way. Yes, both movies even share actors and specific plot points. It is wild. Additionally, anytime a consciousness possesses the living for malevolent deeds, you are going to remember that Kurt Siodmak novel. Yes, Donovan's brain strikes again, as well as the Poverty Row adaptation, The Lady and the Monster, also from Republic. It appears as if the folks at Republic could not let the good thing, or in this case brain, die. Nevertheless, The Phantom Speaks presents a surprisingly polished film for the Poverty Row. Strong acting and stylish direction go a long way in overcoming any of the worn-out tropes. You certainly can't go wrong with this one. I know the bar is low, but trust me, because you know what we're gonna do next week. Yes, we're meeting that bar where it lies on the cold ground. Next week, the film called The Vampire's Ghost, a little vampire story set in the jungles of Africa. Oh boy. Yes, hold on to your garlic for this one. Something tells me Prince Mamawaldi ain't gonna be having a good time.
What is coming up on the Poverty Row Picture Show?
Oh, Peter Lorre, he's got a questionable one for us this week. But he talk about a film lover. He dives deep, and good, bad, or campy, he's on the forefront. He's got a movie called The Vampire's Ghost from 1945. According to Letterboxd, the tagline for this movie is "Slave of the Bloodlust." Maybe not a great tagline, because this movie is set in Africa, at a tawdry bar run by an old man named Webb Fallon. And Fallon is actually a vampire, but he is becoming weary of his life of the past few hundred years. I don't know, Matt. I'm hearing Africa, I'm hearing slaves, I'm hearing vampires and B movies. I'm not holding my breath for this one.
Yeah, that sounds rough. Peter is truly doing the Lord's work. He's doing a service for us all. He will watch literally anything. I hope it goes okay. Good luck to you, Peter. I should mention the next time I see Peter, I should tell him I saw him in a movie from 1946, I think it was, called The Verdict. Sidney Greenstreet is in it. It's a film noir. I just saw that at the Heights Cinema. Peter Lorre is the best part of it. He's amazing. He plays this illustrator who draws courtroom scenes for very grisly murder trials. And he's very world weary and cynical, and he's fascinated by all these deaths and murders and everything, but then it wears on him over the years and he becomes totally disillusioned with people. And he's fantastic. So if I see him, or Vincent, if you happen to see him anytime soon, please tell Peter he was so good in The Verdict.
I will tell him that. I think I have a Teams meeting with him in a couple hours after I hop off of this call. So yeah, I'll pass it along.
Nice. I'm amazed he can even work his laptop and figure out the technology. I would not have expected that of him.
Peter Lorre, do not underestimate Mr. Lorre. He transcends time and technology.
You're right. That was rude of me. Sorry, Peter. If you can give such an amazing performance, you can handle Microsoft Teams.
Welcome to the Poverty Row Studios on the other side of Hollywood. Yes, where the stars were dimmer and the red carpets dripped with blood. Together we will watch the best of the worst. Movies known for their limited budgets, their outlandish concepts, and questionable performances. But with enough haunted houses, zombies, ape men, and devil bats to keep you up at night. This is the Poverty Row Picture Show, and I dare you to sleep through these nightmares. I am your host, the walking, talking, reanimated devil known as Peter Lorre. You may know me from a certain movie called The Verdict. Yes, with my pal, big old Sidney Greenstreet. The Verdict is a film noir. It is worth your time. But you heard it from me and not that rotten scoundrel Matthew Cole Levine. It is all well and good. Yes, how can I be mad when I am here on the beaches of the South Pacific with my darling Lenore? She drinking pina coladas, and I slurping fish heads on the rocks. And you know, my pasty white skin is not burned too bad under this infernal sun. Sort of reminds me of a certain vampire from the Republic film, The Vampire's Ghost. Yes, from 1945, this movie is about a 400-year-old vampire who haunts the villages of Central Africa, doomed and depressed. Things take a turn for Dramasville when other white people arrive and our vampire takes an interest in the young beauty. In his pursuit, the vampire knocks off all those in his way. Now, despite the potential of an African location, the Vampire's Ghost is everything you would expect from a vampire chiller of the 40s, aversions to mirrors and the like. However, this vampire can walk during the day, and he sports some rather groovy shades. Now, I will leave it up to your judgment as to the effectiveness of this choice, but above all, the Vampire's Ghost is not a total drag. In fact, there are some good performances and solid enough screenplay, however derivative. We may attribute the more entertaining aspects of the picture to co-writer, a woman named Lee Brackett. Miss Brackett was, yes, a woman, which was rare among screenwriters of the time. Furthermore, Miss Brackett would go on to pen a little ditty known as The Big Sleep with my other pal, Humphrey Bogart. The Howard Hawks picture, Rio Bravo, and perhaps most interesting to listeners of Camp Kaiju, The Empire Strikes Back. Yes, Lee Brackett was a noted writer of science fiction in the mid-20th century and penned the original drafts of the Star Wars sequel before it began production. Nonetheless, her name remains in the credits for her work. This initial screenplay has officially been published, and I would recommend you give it a read. There you have it, listeners. From African jungle vampires to the icy battlefields of Hoth, the vampire's ghost lurks among the bushes. So after watching this movie and the previous Phantom Speaks, dare I say we are on a hot streak. Can our next film continue the trend? It is called The Strangler of the Swamp, and I dare anyone to strangle this ghost from his sandy beach paradise.
True terror is the soft, cold caress of the raven's wing.
Your hands are so cold.
A woman whose desires transcend reality. The mysterious powers of black magic. These you will explore.
Now, what is it you need?
You
got some dried blood off a bat in the house?
The raven will take you careening through the darkest of dangers, into the ominous mystery of a master magician's evil castle.
Afraid, my dear? I offer you a choice. The secret of your hand manipulations, or this against this.
Well, don't just stand there. Do something.
This is no answer.
Very well, then. Adieu to the death. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Every drop of blood feels the freezing paralysis of fear, almost stopping your heart, as Edgar Allan Poe unfolds his tales of terror.
You will meet the master of the mansion, who loved and protected his wife with the strength of a supernatural love, even beyond life itself.
I am in command here. You will do as I say. I shall take what I desire. Your body and your soul if I demand it.
Enough! Help! Help!
Then you'll enjoy the Black Cat's sardonically humorous tale. It all started at the Vintners Convention, where the lover of wine met the professional wine taster and introduced him to his wife, a darling who delighted in dalliance.
What kind of a man are you anyway? Make love to my wife and doesn't even talk to me. You're insane. That may be, but very clever. Help! Help! Help!
In this monstrous mausoleum of the living, you will witness fury far worse than a woman scorned. The fury of a dead woman's jealousy.
Starring Vincent Price, who, inspired by a seductive woman, is overpowered with lust to kill. Peter Lorre, too sensitive for both the life he lives and the lives he takes.
Butterfingers.
Boris Karloff, the ancient one, with a fount of sweet memories.
Alexander the Great embalmed in honey, so they say.
Abundantly blessed, Joyce Jameson, an unhappy, unkissed bride.
Aren't you coming to bed, husband?
Rhubarb, the cat in the house of unholy horror. Amazing Joey Brown, shockingly amazed. And inimitable Basil Rathbone.
Haven't you, sir?
Whose wrath will slash you to the bone. A mad killer, like the angel of death, stalks his next victim.
You're
here because you're dead, Mr. Black.
The hell I am?
I did also want to mention that the John Carpenter TV movie I was thinking of is called Someone's Watching Me from 1978, starring Lauren Hutton. Very, very good.
Okay. I hadn't heard of it. Nice.
Kind of his take on Rear Window. Highly recommended.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. That man is so prolific.
Indeed.
Well, you know who else is prolific? Mr. Peter Lorre. He's not here right now. He said he was going to make an appearance, but, you know, he's earned the right to be a little flaky, and I don't blame him. He's been through enough with us two yanking him about.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised he still shows up for his Poverty Row Picture Show segments.
Hey, he's ever the professional. He shows up. He does his job. He doesn't have to love it, but he does his job.
Much like a lot of the movies he probably appeared in, I feel like he probably didn't have 100% passion for all of the seemingly hundreds of movies that he was in, but he still shows up like a true professional.
And that's why we're still talking about him.
Yep.
He was not in this Poverty Row picture called Strangler of the Swamp, but he's going to talk about it. And our Letterboxd tagline is, he was hanged for a crime he didn't commit. And now he's presumably the tagline leads into the title, Strangler of the Swamp. Like if you saw it on a poster.
Yeah, I love it. Now he's the what?
He's the what? The Letterboxd synopsis reads, a number of swamp landmen have died by strangulation, and the inhabitants believe that an innocent man they hanged is seeking revenge on all of the male descendants of those responsible for his death. Maria, granddaughter of the innocent ferryman, decides to operate the ferry service. Chris Sanders, a son of one of the men who did the hanging, and Maria fall in love. The Strangler seizes Chris, and Maria offers her life if Chris is spared.
Oh, man.
It's an interesting synopsis. I don't know who any of those people are.
Right.
You know?
It's a very thorough synopsis, and I can only imagine this movie is like 65 minutes long, you know? That must be like the entire thing.
Yeah, if that.
Right. Well, at least they don't give away the ending. Peter will have to hopefully not give it away, but tell us more about it.
Welcome to the Poverty Row Studios on the other side of Hollywood. Yes, where the stars were dimmer, but the red carpet's dripped with blood. Together we will watch the best of the worst. Movies known for their limited budgets, outlandish concepts, and questionable performances, but with enough haunted houses, zombies, ape men, and devil bats to keep you up at night. This is the Poverty Row Picture Show, and I dare you to sleep through these nightmares. I am your host, Peter Lorre. You may know me from such venerable pictures as Island of Doomed Men and Think Fast, Mr. Moto. Well, perhaps venerable isn't quite the word, but you know what? I never made a movie as stinky as Strangler in the Swamp. Oh, what? Did I offend your sensibilities? Your ironclad positivity? Hey, I dare you to sleep through these nightmares, and this picture from PRC certainly challenges the eyelids. The Strangler in the Swamp is about a group of men who frame one another for their backwoods Cajun community for murder. The unlucky bastard was hanged for the crime, and now he returns as a vengeful, swampy specter. He haunts and hunts those who did him dirty. Now, The Strangler in the Swamp was released on New Year's Day in 1946. Ring a ding, baby. The war was over, and apparently our appetite for murky swamps of murder. This movie did not do well, is what I am saying. Nonetheless, Strangler in the Swamp does possess a cult status among the couple of folks who really dig into this stuff. Now, to be fair, the film does boast an impressively swampy set. I mean, there's enough fog here used to put the Wolfman to shame. Now, I know that I was reaching for a joke, but I missed. Get it? I really missed my chance for a fog joke. Some interesting bits of trivia while I'm on a roll. About the Strangler in the Swamp, it stars Rosemary LaPlanche, who was Miss America in 1941. Did you know her special talent was pretending she could act? Oh no, did I offend the Rosemary LaPlanche fan club? Oh, Lenore, I did not mean to be so salty. I sincerely apologize to the spirit of Rosemary LaPlanche. I, more than anyone, understand the feeling of rolling over in one's grave. Wait a minute, why are you cawing? Lenore, is that you? But, how could this be? How could you be turning back into a raven? I worked so hard last season to turn you into the woman you are. Yes, I will. I will think about how to reverse this tragedy. Perhaps the answer lies in our next film. Listeners, next time on the Poverty Row Picture Show, we will be watching a film called The Face of Marble from 1946. Now, Lenore, sit still, Lenore.
So thank you, Kaiju Nick. Thank you, Jim. Thank you to all writing in, calling in. We have some voicemails we're going to feature on our next episode, Black Scorpion. So stay tuned.
I didn't know we had voicemails. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Is it Crank Yankers? I hope it is.
Was it you?
You finally listened to it. I've been waiting for you to talk about it.
Maybe it was Peter Lorre. He's gonna talk. Okay, so he's I don't know. He's kind of in and out right now with communication. I thought he was having a good time on vacation, doing his thing remote, but I think his wife, Lenore, this is some sad news. You know how she was a raven at the end of last season, and he recited the poem, The Raven, and through the powers of black magic, Lenore became a beautiful woman. You remember that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, sad news, Lenore is starting to sprout feathers and turn back into a raven.
That is sad news.
Support for Peter and Lenore in this moment. I don't know what's going to happen with that situation, but bless him, he's recording his things and he's sending them in as he can. This week's episode is about a 1946 film called The Face of Marble. Our letterbox synopsis reads, "The last gasp in Chillers." It is the story of Dr. Charles Randolph, a scientist dedicated to deciphering the secrets of life and death. Aided by assistant David Cochran, Charles conducts experiments that have horrifying side effects. Charles's lonely wife, Elaine, is frightened by his work, and in order to protect her, housekeeper Maria unleashes a torrent of, here it is, voodoo that wreaks havoc. Mad scientists, voodoo witch doctors. Sure. You can either go very wrong or be just perfect. I don't know yet.
I'm hoping for just perfect. For Peter Lorre's sake, I'm hoping for just perfect.
He needs a feel-good movie these days. Maybe this will be it for him. He loves this stuff.
Yeah.
John Carradine is in this movie. I just want to mention.
I get the Carradines mixed up. Am I the only one? Do you guys get the Carradines mixed up as well? Because Keith Carradine is the younger one. Okay. Right? John Carradine is the older one?
John Carradine, I believe, is the father of Keith Carradine and even Robert Carradine. And there's
David Carradine, right?
David Carradine.
David might be the most well-known one, right? Is he the one that's in Kill Bill?
Yeah. David's the only one where I can for sure picture him offhand. I'm sure I'd recognize the other guys if I saw them, but he's the only one where I'm all right, this face goes with this guy.
Right.
Keith Carradine. Aha.
Was Keith in Q the Winged Serpent? One of the Carradines was, I think. We're getting real off base now. Sorry.
Carradine podcast coming to you. Yes, David Carradine. Right. He had the unfortunate demise in a closet. But I was thinking of the other Carradine who just died, actually, but he was in Revenge of the Nerds. He was the youngest.
Oh. He just died?
Yeah, he did. His name is Robert Carradine.
Hmm.
He was also the dad on Lizzie McGuire.
Okay.
Yes.
I hope we bring Lizzie McGuire to the podcast someday too. It's only a matter of time, right?
You know, if we're doing this when we're 80, I will welcome Lizzie McGuire on the show.
out of monster movies.
We'll find some extremely thin way to connect it. I don't know how exactly.
Yeah. Rest in peace, the Carradines. And thank you, Mr. Lorre. I hope Lenore is doing all right.
He loved Lenore as a raven, right? So maybe he's kind of okay with her reverting to avian form.
You know, you never know. You know, relationships are personal. They're private. You know, I know how I would feel if Ellen turned into a bird. Not great, but I'm not Peter Lorre, who is a reanimated corpse among the living. So who knows?
You never know with that guy. Yeah.
Welcome to the Poverty Row Studios on the other side of Hollywood, where the stars were dimmer and the red carpets dripped with blood. Together we will watch the best of the worst. Yes, movies known for their limited budgets, outlandish concepts, and questionable performances, but with enough haunted houses, zombies, ape men, and devil bats to keep you up at night. This is the Poverty Row Picture Show, and I dare you to sleep through these nightmares. Greeting, guys and ghouls. I am your devilish host, Peter Lorre. You may remember me from such sinister cinematic movies as M. You remember the Fritz Lang picture that came after L and right before N. And, oh, who am I kidding? Listeners, I have not been my usual quick-witted self these days. You see, my beautiful Lenore, once a raven, is inexplicably returning to that frightening feathered form. Oh, Lenore, I do not have it in me to recite another poem, and yet, oh, ye gods, what am I to do? Well, keep calm and carry on, they say. This week I am reviewing a monogram film called The Face of Marble from 1946. It stars John Carradine, yes, as a scientist who seeks to bring the dead back to life through some electroshock mechanism. In true B-movie fashion, his experiments with the contraband cadavers naturally runs afoul of the law and his beloved. But that is not all. The Face of Marble truly takes a turn for the bizarro when the housekeeper is a voodoo witch doctor and through a series of unfortunate events mistakenly kills Carradine's wife. But fear not, the dearly departed is, yes, you guessed it, brought back to life through the mad machinations of the doctor. Except she is more of a ghost, who is now roaming the house for revenge with their dog, who died earlier and is now also a ghost. Listeners, The Face of Marble is as strange as its title. It hardly makes a lick of sense, and yet, somehow in its 70 minutes, perhaps it is strange enough to sit through. Perhaps our next movie will be even more bizarre. A monster flick called The Flying Serpent, starring that rascal George Zucco. What is this? What? My podcasting microphone is picking up a message. It appears to be a coded signal from the gods. No, it cannot be. But yes, listeners, it is coming from out there, from a world beyond ours. Perhaps it is a message of hope for Lenore. Speak to me, ye gods of the outer limits. Speak to me.
Sean says, I agree with Matt. The Friday the 13th movies are boring as hell, save for the campy ones towards the end of its life, i.e. Jason X and Freddy vs. Jason. I'm glad to hear Sean agrees with me. I am still working my way through the series, and I just recently watched Jason Takes Manhattan, which is kind of fun. I sort of like that one.
If you like Jason Takes Manhattan, maybe you'll like The Flying Serpent from 1946. Peter Lorre's here to talk all about it. The man what are his comfort movies? That's what we got to ask him, because, Lenore, she's a bird. She's a straight up raven again. And Peter is struggling for answers from the great beyond. Something's speaking to him. We're going to find out what it is, but we're also going to find out what this flying serpent is. Thank you, Peter, wherever you are. We wish you luck with Lenore and reviewing the flying serpent.
Good luck, Peter.
Welcome to the Poverty Row Studios on the other side of Hollywood, where the stars were dimmer and the red carpets dripped with blood. Together we will watch the best of the worst. Movies known for their limited budgets, outlandish concepts, and questionable performances, but with enough haunted houses, zombies, ape men, and devil bats to keep you up at night. This is the Poverty Row Picture Show, and I dare you to sleep through these nightmares. This week I am barreling through a monster picture called The Flying Serpent because, if you remember, my beloved Lenore is turning into a flying creature herself. Yes, it is all too tragic, but Lenore is, yes, once again, a raven. I am sorry, my black beauty, but I know how much you are looking forward to presenting this particular episode of the Poverty Row Picture Show yourself, but... Oh, yes, I understand, all right. Yes, you make a convincing argument. I shall translate for our listeners. Take it away, honey. Lenore, you have such a way with words. Now, listeners, what your feathered guest host was saying was that The Flying Serpent was released in 1946 from the studio known as PRC. The movie is about an archaeologist in New Mexico who discovers a mountain of Aztec treasure. Guarding the fortune, however, is the monstrous Quetzalcoatl of Mexican mythology. Our devious scientist, here played by George Zuko, soon uses the reptile bird as a flying weapon of death. Zuko sicks Quetzalcoatl on anyone who comes sniffing around the treasure. Now, the Flying Serpent is not a bad picture, but compared to its carbon copy cousin, the Devil Bat, it does not hold a feather in the wind. Nevertheless, the Flying Serpent is good for a few chuckles in its 59 minutes. I mean, the monster is an iguana with a pair of wings tied to its back. It doesn't get much campier than that, folks. And speaking of the Devil Bat, next week we shall review the sequel itself, The Devil Bat's Daughter. No, Lenore, you are not the Devil Bat. You are the Raven. You are the beauty, the beauty of my eye. But, yes, Lenore, you are correct. You see, listeners, last week on the show, I received a message from the outer limits of space itself. I do firmly believe the cure for Lenore's Raven regression lies in that mysterious message. If only I can reverse the signals and communicate with this unknown sender. Yes, by great Zuko's beard, I will get to the bottom of this.
1,000 times yes. Rosemary's Baby, one of my favorite movies, and maybe the best horror movie of all time. It is unfortunate I get plot spoilers, like I don't like that, but I still think like the lead up to it, you will experience the ending of that movie entirely on your own terms, in your own way, so definitely check it out. You won't be disappointed, Demon in our phone.
But will Peter Lorre be disappointed? The man he's losing it, but I understand. He's gone through a tough time. Lenore is a raven. She's flying around his house. Poor Lenore. I mean, can you imagine being a bird?
Man, she must be a raven lunatic.
Yeah.
Bad joke. Sorry.
Oh, man. She's going to haunt you now. What's that tapping on the window? It's Lenore.
I brought it upon myself.
But we'll see how he's doing, how they're both doing. Peter's going to talk about a 1946 film called Devil Bat's Daughter.
Good luck, Peter. Godspeed. Hope all goes well with Lenore.
Welcome to the Poverty Row Studios on the other side of Hollywood. Yes, where the stars were dimmer and the red carpets dripped with blood. Together we will watch the best of the worst, movies known for their limited budgets, outlandish concepts, and questionable performances, but with enough haunted houses, zombies, ape men, and devil bats to keep you up at night. This is the Poverty Row Picture Show, and I dare you to sleep through these nightmares. I am your host, Peter Lorre, currently playing birdwatcher to my beautiful bride, Lenore. Normally, I thrill at beholding the love of my life through a pair of binoculars as she preens herself in nothing but feathers. But alas, this night, in the twilight, it is not in our bedroom in which I find Lenore. No, she has flown away to sleep the night atop a tall tower in the village square, and I, alone in our bedroom, gaze at her from afar. Good night, my love. Perhaps I will get closer to solving the mysterious signal that has infiltrated the sound waves of my podcasting machinery. Perhaps, Lenore, I better start packing my suitcase. The answers to this otherworldly riddle may very well lie beyond our friendly confines. Perhaps beyond Earth itself. Well, here I am talking to myself again. I see that you have fallen asleep atop your roost. Well, that is comforting, Lenore. Sleep well, my darling. And the listeners, I have not forgotten about you. I know I must review Devil Bat's Daughter. It is the reason for which you even listen to this podcast from Vincent and Matthew. Well, I will share a few words about this Poverty Row picture as I assemble my belongings for a potential adventure to the stars above. But yes, anyways, Devil Bat's Daughter is a supposed sequel to the 1940 hit The Devil Bat. Both films were produced by PRC, but only The Devil Bat features that connoisseur of camp, Mr. Bela Lugosi. As for this 1946 sequel, it honestly fails to rise up to the levels of campy pleasure that the first one delivers. This would be all well and good if Devil Bat's Daughter delivered anything, something, but nothing. No frights, no thrills, no cheese for this rat with wings. Alas, despite the promising start, the film quickly settles into a soporific snooze fest. I am sorry to say, but at least it reminds you how supremely pleasurable the Devil Bat is. So there you have it. I have essentially given you yet another glowing review of the Devil Bat. Yes, perhaps I will watch the Devil Bat tonight over a plate of fish heads. Perhaps the Devil Bat is old Peter Lorre's comfort monster movie. And after the Devil Bat, we will watch the Catman of Paris from 1946. Next time on the Poverty Row Picture Show.
Come closer. I want to talk to you. I'm going to tell you an astounding story. The story of the Maltese Falcon. 600 years, the Falcon has carried the mystery of a fabulous wealth under its grotesque wings. I could tell you 1,000 tales of the men and women who have hunted this evil bird. But every story has the same ending. Murder. Listen to these incredible people, all consumed by their passionate greed for the Maltese Falcon.
What have you ever given me beside money? Have you ever given me any of your confidence, any of the truth? Haven't you tried to buy my loyalty with money and nothing else?
What else is there I can buy you with?
We were talking about a lot more money than this.
There are more of us to be taken care of now.
Well, that may be, but I've got the Falcon.
You may have the Falcon, but we certainly have you.
I take another riding from you I'm gonna take. Get up and shoot it out.
Stop it, the police will be here any minute. Now talk.
Oh, how can you accuse me of such a terrible...
This isn't the time for that schoolgirl act. We're both of us sitting under the gallows.
All the gin joints in all the towns in all the world. She walks into mine.
Friday night, the movie classic Casablanca.
He's looking at you, kid.
Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman.
I don't like disturbances in my place. Either lay off politics or get out.
Paul Henry, Claude Rains, Peter Lorre, and Sidney Greenstreet.
Is that can on fire? Or is it my heart pounding?
Do something, you must!
Casablanca. Friday night at 9:30 on NBN.
And who can forget our original debonair devil. There it is. I was trying to think of something. Our original devil. I'm losing it. Peter Lorre. He's packing his bags. I don't know where he's going, but he's got it. I received a message from him. Lenore's a raven, and he thinks he can find a cure. He doesn't know exactly where he's going yet, but he's packing his bags, and he's going to be trying to find that cure, like an Odyssey.
Good luck, Peter. That sounds like a classic gothic horror storyline in itself.
Wow, his life really is a movie. But he's going to be talking about a 1946 film on the Poverty Row Picture Show called Catman of Paris. And here is our letterboxed blurb. Beware, a monster is loose. When author Charles returns to Paris with a best-selling book that criticizes the government, he's tormented by frequent blackouts. After a mysterious cat-like creature slaughters people close to him, Charles is suspected of murder. Charles fears that he is the beast, but his paramour, Marie, and best friend, Henry, believe he's innocent until the creature begins to stalk Marie. Dun, dun, dun.
Wow, that sounds kind of great. Like, sometimes these synopses, I'm like, Peter, you're on your own. You're doing the Lord's work. Godspeed. But with this one, I actually kind of want to watch this.
Yeah, me too. I'll be watching it sometime before we meet again.
Nice. As will Peter, of course.
As will Peter, of course.
And
it's funny,
I
you never
hope
see us in the same room.
That is strange. Yeah. Something's fishy going on here. Something fishy's going on here. Maybe much like Catman of Paris. Who knows?
The cat jokes could write themselves.
Welcome to the Poverty Row Studios on the other side of Hollywood, where the stars were dimmer and the red carpets dripped with blood. Together we will watch the best of the worst. Movies known for their limited budgets, outlandish concepts, and questionable performances, but with enough haunted houses, zombies, ape men, and devil bats to keep you up at night. This is the Poverty Row Picture Show, and I dare you to sleep through these nightmares. I am indeed your debonair devil of a host, Peter Lorre. You may remember me from such classic Bugs Bunny cartoons as Hair Raisin Hair and Birth of a Notion. Now, believe it or not, but these depictions of me are but mere caricatures. You see, I am nothing like the hunchbacked, bug-eyed mad scientist that pop culture may have led you to believe. No, dear listeners, I have a heart. I have feelings. I love to munch on fish heads in the night, but hey, who does not these days? Oh, Lenore does not these days. Will you just look at her? Look at her through that window across the street, over at the top of the tree over yonder. Yes, Lenore roosting in her branch, in the moonlight. Oh, you see the love of my life, dear listeners, my beloved Lenore, so cruelly turned into a bird by the monster movie gods. Well, I suppose it could have been worse. She could have been turned into a Catman, and we could be in Paris. Aw, jeepers creepers, I almost neglected tonight's installment of the Poverty Row Picture Show. Yes, we are discussing the 1946 picture, The Catman of Paris. A murder mystery with a monster cut from the cloth of cat people, the Wolfman, and other psychological horror thrillers of the time. And while naturally, Catman is not anywhere as technically well made as those other films, it does hold some true campy gems worth noting. Not to mention, the on-screen murders show a level of bloody violence that was not so common in 1946. I know, I was there, in hair-raising hair. Anyways, Catman of Paris, at a mere 60 minutes, leaps to the upper levels of the Poverty Row ranking. Now, sure, it has its slower moments like they all do, but overall it is a relatively entertaining picture. Now, whether or not that is always intentional is a different question. Nevertheless, behold the Catman, and behold Lenore, the bird woman of my dreams. I must continue to pack my bags, dear listeners. Yes, there's a long journey ahead for old Peter Lorre as I seek a cure for Lenore, somewhere in the cosmos, somewhere beyond heaven, somewhere, wherever this strange signal is being transmitted from. Well, until that day when I figure it out, we will be back next time on the Poverty Row Picture Show for a little movie called Valley of the Zombies. Ha-ha!
Sweet dreams, tomorrow's another day. Till then, sweet dreams, sweetheart. I don't know, but did you ever have the feeling you was being watched? Being watched, he says. Patience, little one. Your dinner will soon be here. A nice, tender little rabbit. You know, I could have sworn I was being watched. Yeah, but I guess it was just my imagination. Well...
Well, Peter Lorre, he is here somewhere. He's going to talk about a Poverty Row picture called The Valley of the Zombies, about a woman who falls under the hypnotic spell of a resurrected madman. Ooh. Blood madness out of the fog into your heart.
That sounds like the beginning of like an 80s hair metal band song, you know? I would listen to that.
It has a average 3-star rating on Letterboxd, so hey, I have high hopes.
Yeah. Well, for Peter's sake, I hope it is tolerable, at least.
Indeed.
Welcome to the Poverty Row Studios, yes, on the other side of Hollywood, where the stars were dimmer and the red carpets dripped with blood. Together we will watch the best of the worst. Movies known for their limited budgets, outlandish concepts and questionable performances, but with enough haunted houses, zombies, ape men, and devil bats to keep you up at night. This is the Poverty Row Picture Show, and I dare you to sleep through these nightmares. And finally, the floor is mine. Yes, do Matthew and Vincent really believe they could summon me like that without consequence? They took me from my packing. Yes, listeners, I am packing my bags for a trip to the stars. I believe it is the only way I am able to find a cure for Lenore. Yes, Lenore, my beautiful wife, who has been inexplicably transformed into a raven. Now, do not get me wrong, she is still as ravenishing as ever, but you know, she did not ask for this development in her life, and I, as her BC knight in celluloid armor, I am determined to find a cure and turn her back into a woman once and for all. But yes, do you hear, listeners, that message? Oh, how it beckons me, how it beguiles me, and yet I am convinced its source lies beyond our world, and by Zuko's beard I will find it. Anyways, while I am here now, I must uphold my sacred duty to review B movies from the Poverty Row. And what do you know? This week's picture, Valley of the Zombies, is from that Studio Republic. Now, this movie, Valley of the Zombies, is not as bad a trip as some other Poverty Row flicks, but leave it to the Poverty Row to bandy about the word zombie without the care in the world to its authenticity. Now, this movie gives us a vampire instead. Do they even know what they are doing? Nevertheless, despite the misnomer, our vampire is played with hammy delight by Ian Keith. Now, I remember Ian, he was a nice man and a good actor. Mr. Keith was up for the role of Dracula himself in 1931, and again in 1948's Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Well, Ian never got to play the Count, but in Valley of the Zombies, he makes it count. He gets to drink plenty of blood, and straight from the necks of those who've wronged him. Along the way, there are a couple of would-be gumshoes who provide a rat-tat-tat of wisecracks. Oh, they are not all good jokes, but they are relentless enough that you never get bored. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really must get back to my packing before next week's all about those dead-end kids in Spook Busters. Ooh, wait! What is this? This little squeaking sound coming through the cosmic message. No, listeners, I do not like the sound of that little rat. Tat, 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 tat. No.
All right. Well, who can forget Peter Lorre? Sorry, bud. There's so much else going on, but we will not forget you. And Peter Lorre is talking about a 1946 movie called Spook Busters, not Ghostbusters. Spook Busters is shudterific. And it's about those Bowery boys, Slip, Satch, Bobby, Whitey, and Chuck, who start their own exterminating service and get a job which takes them to a spooky old abandoned mansion in the middle of the night. Meeting up with pal Gabe and his new French bride, the boys are tormented by mad scientists who try to convince him the place is haunted and then kidnap Satch in order to place his brain inside a gorilla.
Wow.
I just lived a lifetime. So many things happened in that sentence, in that synopsis. I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, shudterific indeed. Good luck, Peter. I hope it goes well. It's weird how many movies from around this time have like the gorilla/man hybrid thing, you know? We've talked about that before.
Yeah, putting brains in gorillas.
Yeah.
A lost genre.
Yeah, maybe for the best.
But Spookbusters, I know, does it bear any resemblance to Ghostbusters? We'll see.
Yeah, I doubt it, but maybe. Yeah. Have you or has Peter ever seen any of the Bowery Boys movies before?
Oh yeah, they're They went by so many names depending on the studio they worked at. At MGM, they were the East End Kids, or at Warner Brothers, they were the Dead End Kids, or here they were the Bowery Boys. Don't quote me on those studios, but to get my drift.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, they were, and they also interchanged their performers a lot of times. There's one or two staples, main actors who stuck with the troupe, but they were in like 8 movies with Bela Lugosi, Poverty Row movies. You know, real certain sense of humor there. Very, very yuck type of stuff, which if it's not your cup of tea, they're really not funny. But if it is, then you can get a chuckle out of them.
Okay. I'm guessing they are not my sense of humor, but I've never seen any of them, and I would be intrigued to check it out just to see what they're all about.
Well, I will give you some recommendations. They're films with Bela Lugosi. There's some diamonds in the rough there. But honestly, Matt, check out the James Cagney movie, Angels with Dirty Faces.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen that. That's a gangster movie, right?
Yep. And the East End Kids at the time, I think they're the Dead End Kids, but they are a huge part of that movie. But that's an A picture, and that would give you maybe the best example of their vibe without the dumb humor.
Okay. In an actual good movie.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's a big blind spot for me. I love gangster movies of the 30s, but I've never seen that one.
I think it's one of the best. It's one of my favorites.
Cool. I'll check it out.
Welcome to the Poverty Row Studios on the other side of Hollywood. Yes, where the stars were dimmer and the red carpets dripped with blood. Together we will watch the best of the worst. Movies known for their limited budgets, outlandish concepts, and questionable performances. But with enough haunted houses, zombies, ape men, and devil bats to keep you up at night, this is the Poverty Row Picture Show, and I dare you to sleep through these nightmares. Oh! Listeners, I bid you welcome, but please be quiet. Be still. Shut your traps. I apologize for my unfortunate outburst, but you hear that sound? Yes, that little funny squeaking noise coming through the cosmic messaging. It has gone away now. Perhaps it will come back. Oh, me? Am I doing all right? Well, yes, listener, you do not worry about old Peter Lorre. I am just making my final preparations for this trip I am taking to the stars, where I believe this message is originating from. And there, only there, in that astral plane of mystery, I will discover the cure for Lenore's condition. And yes, for those of you just now joining us, my beautiful wife has been turned into a bird. Yes, a black raven, in fact. She sleeps in a tree in the park. I feed her morning, noon, and night, and communicate with her through our own language. Caw! 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 No, my darling. I was only demonstrating to our friends what life is like for us these days. No, you go back to the park and I'll be there as soon as I am finished. Yes, with the fish heads. Yes, I will heat them up this time. Now, listeners, clearly you understand that I must find her a cure at all costs. Now, to fulfill my unholy duties for Camp Kaiju, this week's Poverty Row film is called Spookbusters, starring those lovable bums from Brooklyn, the Bowery Boys, otherwise known as the East End Kids. Unfortunately, no, there is no Bela Lugosi in this outing, nor is there the amusing antics of Sunshine Sammy Morris. So despite the higher production budget, the film cannot charm its way out of cliché and tedium. Perhaps the best legacy of this movie is the premise itself. A gang of exterminators head to a haunted house to bust some ghosts. Sounds familiar, yes? Yes, perhaps it is not a mere coincidence. Oh, shh, be quiet, listeners. Do you hear that squeaking has returned? By Great Zuko's beard, I believe I recognize that squeaking. Yes, I would recognize that little mouse squeak anywhere. Hello, Pierre. So we meet again, you dirty, rotten son of a...
And just real quick, Bela Lugosi Meets a Brooklyn Gorilla is the name of a movie from 1952. And Peter Lorre, he's winding down the Poverty Row Picture Show before his next adventures. Who knows what series he will cover next, but Mr. Lorre will always be a co-host on Camp Kaiju, so stay tuned, listeners. And he's going to close out the Poverty Row Picture Show with a film called Bela Lugosi Meets a Brooklyn Gorilla, a horror film that will stiffen you with laughter. And that is the tagline. And our Letterboxd review says, the entertainment duo Mitchell and Petrillo, en route to a USO show for troops in Guam, fall out of their plane and end up on a jungle island called Cola Cola, where the mad scientist Dr. Zabor is conducting evolutionary experiments. So, what does that do for you?
I'm a little nervous to watch that movie, but at least Peter Lorre is doing, he's sacrificing himself. He's doing the Lord's work. God bless him.
The work for he who walks behind the rose.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's why Peter is doing all of it, just to appease he who walks behind the rose.
Whoa, I got to talk to him about that. I got to check in on him. At all this time, I thought he was working on his own volition, but maybe he's been possessed.
Yeah, he's the giver of his word, I believe is what the... No, I was talking to my dog in the Isaac voice this afternoon after I watched the film. So.
That was a good impersonation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Amazing. Well, Peter, we wish you the best.
Welcome to the Poverty Row Studios on the other side of Hollywood, where the stars were dimmer and the red carpets dripped with blood. Together, we will watch the best of the worst, movies known for their limited budgets, outlandish concepts, and questionable performances. But with enough haunted houses, zombies, ape men, and devil bats to keep you up at night. This is the Poverty Row Picture Show, and I dare you to sleep through these nightmares. Listeners, run for your lives. Get out while you still can. Yes, that rodent from hell, that fiend from the floorboards has returned. Yes, I am talking about Pierre. What do you mean you do not remember? Years ago, when I was ungraciously resurrected from the dead by Matthew and Vincent to review classic horror films, I was locked in a recording booth. I only had my mind and a microphone. Madness pursued my waking hours, and then in the darkest of those hours, a savior appeared from a hole in the wall. A little mousy compadre named Pierre. He would help me review silent horror movies, and we had terrific chemistry. That is, until the little rat bastard started to hog the limelight. Then one day he took a meat cleaver to my face. I survived, and all he ended up rendering that day was our partnership. And he fled to where I knew not. Until now. Now it would appear that Pierre has found a rat hole in the stars, and that he is somehow responsible for the wicked transformation of my love, Lenore, into a raven. Now, I must battle Pierre once and for all and save my beautiful birdie bride. Talk about life getting away from you, huh? Well, if it is any consolation, dear listeners, I will conclude the Poverty Row Picture Show with one last hurrah. Yes, I am going to discuss a film entitled Bela Lugosi Meets a Brooklyn Gorilla. From 1951, it stars the comedic duo Duke Mitchell and Sammy Petrello. Look these guys up, I'm telling you, they are literally a knockoff of Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. And if that ain't weird enough, here they run afoul of a mad scientist played by aging Bela Lugosi as he schemes to turn Duke Mitchell into a gorilla. So-called hilarity ensues. No, dear listeners, it would seem that the only things that this film has going for it are Bela himself and the title itself. So if you are morbidly curious or wish pain unto yourself, then Bela Lugosi Meets a Brooklyn Gorilla is for you. So alas, my friends, on that note, I must bid you adieu. I will send a proper goodbye in the coming weeks when Camp Kaiju reviews King Kong Escapes. For now, I must set my sights on that little devil who lurks in the black void of space. Pierre, I am coming for you.
So Peter Lorre is no longer with us. He's not dead. I mean, he's been dead for a long time. We know his voice with us is that of a reanimated corpse, but he is no longer working for us right now. He is also taking a hiatus.
Good. I mean, everybody needs to sometimes. Yeah.
Right. It's maybe a sabbatical. It's not actually. It's under tragic circumstances because his wife has been turned into a raven by his old nemesis, Pierre the mouse. Listeners, if this doesn't make any sense to you, that's okay. Just go with us. But Matt, I have a letter that Mr. Lorre left us before he packed his bags this morning. I'm going to read this letter to him, to you, to all you listeners out there, from Mr. Lorre.
Oh my goodness.
Dear Matthew and Vincent, you dirty, rotten bastards. If you are reading this letter, it is because I have departed this good-for-nothing planet in search of the villainous mouse fiend known as Pierre. For he has transformed my bride, Lenore, into that oddly human-like raven who resides in the park. And it is Pierre who harbors the secret to her transformation back into human form. And it is Pierre who, after the events of the meat cleaver incident, apparently fled into the cosmos where he resides on a rock known as Planet Mongo. Oh, what devilish horrors await me on Mongo. Time will tell, but I am committed to defeating Pierre once and for all, acquiring the cure, returning to Earth, and living happily ever after with my Lenore. Now the question on everyone's lips, what will happen to the Poverty Row? Well, dear listeners, I believe we have exhumed enough of those bloated B-movie corpses. But hey, they weren't all bad. A few I would highly recommend for a campy good time. Certainly films like The Devil Bat, Voodoo Man, Return of the Ape Man, and King of the Zombies will all scratch an unholy itch. Alas, while the curtain closes on the Poverty Row Picture Show, I am certain I will return to Camp Kaiju sooner or later. Perhaps I will discover a treasure trove of science fiction films while out gallivanting among the stars. So to Matthew and Vincent, keep the fish heads warm, you lousy sons of well. Hey, this is a family-friendly program, so you know what, listeners? You keep old Peter Lorre in mind, will ya? Yes, check out a few of my pictures while I am away. It has been the honor of my undead life. Alrighty then, before I get too weepy on ya, I'm off to Planet Mongo. Be back in a flash. Rotten hell, Peter.
I'm tearing up a little bit. Oh my gosh, be careful, Peter. I want to watch the cinematic adaptation of his journey to Planet Mongo. It sounds amazing. What horrors will await him there?
What horrors? Monstrous villainy awaits. Do you know what Mongo is?
It sounds familiar.
I had to look it up. Well, I think Mongo is the name of the dude from Blazing Saddles, but more germane to our podcast. Mongo is the planet that Flash Gordon is on. So I had to look that up because I want to do a series on the Flash Gordon series.
Oh, cool. I'm not very familiar with those, so I probably would not have placed that reference.
Not me neither.
Yeah.
But yeah, Peter Lorre, he's off. So folks, do him a solid. Watch some old Peter Lorre movies, and he'll be back before long.
I hope so.
Yeah, we believe in him.
Yeah. He will stay here in our hearts. Nobody can see what I'm doing. He will stay in our hearts.
He hates us so much.
Rick, help me.
Be a fool, you can't get away.
Rick, hide me. Do something. You must help me, Rick. Do something.
Come on.
Rick! Rick!